Welcome to our first in the live series of LinkedIn Live from the Green Room, where we are discussing the most groundbreaking topics in agriculture with our experts and with you. Today, we're going to be looking at the future of drones in agriculture. I'm Katie Lolito. I'm an Innovation Communications Specialist for BASF Agricultural Solutions, and I'm here with my colleague, Holger Hoffman, who is an expert in digital farming.
Hi, Katie. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me today. I'm Holger Hoffman, Team Lead for Wheat Management at Xarvio BASF Digital Farming.
Okay, and so if you don't know what Xarvio is, it's the brand of products that are our digital services.
That's correct. We optimize crop production by using mainly remote sensing and advanced crop modeling and giving agronomic field-specific advice to farmers.
Okay, so about how many people have access to the Xarvio products? Because I know that digital farming is happening right now, the digitalization of ag.
Oh yeah, it's evolving very fast. So we have served more than 130,000 farmers, and that's about 20 million hectares. And most of all, 1 million of those served by drones.
Okay, so you have Holger's credentials as an expert in digital farming. And so if you want to engage with us today, we want you to use the chat function to share your insights and your questions, and we can have a discussion on this topic. So I'd like to get started. Are you ready?
Let's talk digital ag.
I would like to know the basics, because I'm not sure the audience knows the difference between a drone and a consumer drone and an agricultural drone. I do not. Is this an agricultural drone?
Well, this is a standard multispectral drone. We use it for our operations, yeah. Basically, there are two kinds of drones, right? You have the sensing drone, like this one, and then you have the spraying drones, which carry out some operations, so also spreading or lifting.
Okay, so it's like cars. There are different models of cars. There are different models of drones.
They have evolved so much over the last years and have specialized in all these different kind of job steps, just like cars have evolved.
So where did you get this one from?
This one I got yesterday from our trial station. It was so warm.
Okay, so this one is specifically for sensing, but you said that there's the other kinds. Why didn't you bring those in today?
Those ones are considerably bigger.
Okay.
I mean, a 10-liter tank would still fit into the trunk of your car.
Yeah.
But the 40, 50-liter, whoa, those are not fitting anymore.
So size of a kitchen table.
More than that. If you unfold it, it's 3-4 meters.
Okay, and so farmers are using these to get into their field to image from above, and they're getting into the field with the other models to spray, to spread chemicals.
That's correct. So this one really takes images, single images, which are stitched to maps, basically. It has a standard camera. It also has the red and green and the red edge and the near-infrared sensors. And those are then used by models to detect where the diseases are, the pathogens are, pests, the crop stress, basically.
Right. So if you have a question about drones in agriculture, please leave those in the chat. The thing is, Holger, is that you're talking about drones and they're providing value for farmers. They're getting into the field for crop health monitoring to apply crop protection and fertilizer. But before drones, there were other ways to do that. Why drones?
So those are really handy. I mean, the sensing drones, they complement the big boom sprayers in a way that you can plan your logistics. You can create those variable rate application maps or on-off maps. And with the bird's eye view, you can already calculate how much you need in terms of watering chemistry. Yeah.
Okay, so they can really get into the field. They're more agile than a tractor, for example, and it's really seeming like they are the young Davids entering the worlds of Goliaths, where you have these huge tractors and these more agile machines that are also bringing benefits.
That's a good point. Yeah, exactly. So those ones complement the big machines perfectly. Yeah. And the big spraying drones, obviously, they can go into the field where a boom sprayer can't go. But still, those are really small as compared to a boom sprayer. So you can swap them from one field to the other very easily. Yeah.
Okay, so our young David the drone, he's very talented. Tell me about sustainability, though. Are drones more sustainable than other application methods?
Well, of course, they bring in a lot of new sustainability aspects, like soil compaction and so on. But the main ones basically are the spraying drones carry a very little weight, so they're a small payload.
Okay.
And by that, of course, you save a lot of water. And if you buy such a drone, you're already on the path to do precision farming. Yeah. And by doing that, you will also save on the chemistry.
Okay, so there are a lot of benefits to drones, the sustainability features, the ability to get into a field where the tractors can't. Maybe this is a question to the audience and also a question to you, Holger, is if there are so many benefits, are we going to see swarms of drones taking over tractors?
Well, I guess we will see swarms, definitely, yeah. But we will not see that they will take over. I guess they will complement the boom sprayer in real time. Yeah, the boom sprayer is still very efficient when it comes to handling large areas, like large squared fields. So the coverage of those boom sprayers is still 2 to 5 times better than the ones from the drones. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, so what you're saying is it's not like your classic David and Goliath situation. In our story of David the drone, he doesn't topple Goliath, but they work, together. There's harmony between these two.
Exactly, that's the future. Yeah.
Okay, I like that picture. I like our new story. Okay, so if you have a question or a comment about drones, please enter it, and we would love to have you engage with Holger on this topic. Holger, you've painted this picture of drones working together in the farm, in agriculture. What's the real life situation on the farm?
Well, we have a beautiful example from Brazil and Argentina, where we send out drones by our own pilots or by third-party companies, collect those images and automatically process them online to create maps. And those maps tell you where the weeds are. So you precisely apply the herbicide only where the weeds are.
Okay, that's very interesting. So the drones are going out in the field, they're mapping, taking pictures, and then the Zarvio program is getting insights to tell where to spray, how much. It's giving that information for precision spraying in a tractor or by drone.
That's correct, yeah.
And in terms of outcomes, what does the farmer really get for that?
Yeah. On average, you have savings of more than 60%. So just imagine not spraying 60% of the field. Yeah. So that's a win for the farmer and for the environment, of course. Plus, by doing that, you have those maps, and then you will learn year by year how good your management was. And of course, we will improve the service for you.
Okay, so this is that example of new technology coming in and integrating with existing technology for gains in productivity and sustainability.
That's correct.
And so you've mentioned that this program is available in Brazil, in Argentina, and we also know that drones are already being used in 30% of the farmland in China to treat crops. So why these places?
Yeah, that number from China is really massive. So there are differences across the different markets in terms of adoption. I mean, in Asia, you have a lot of rice, you have a lot of orchards, so this is the perfect place for a drone. But you also have the aging workforce, so that means you have labor shortages. Yeah, so those are adoption drivers there. In South America, of course, the number of total drones is way less, but it's evolving also very fast. These drones, the spraying drones, are still considerably cheaper than a big boom sprayer, so this enables also a lot of businesses and services around it. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's really interesting to see the differences in the regions and why things are being adopted in other places. And if you have something to say about this topic, please enter it in the chat. We are monitoring that now. But I'd like to start to talk about the future of farms. You've described the benefits, who's adopting them, and where are they being used. But Holger, as an expert in digital farming, what does the future of drone use look like on farms?
All right, that's a very good question. Let's look into the crystal ball. So, of course, those drones will automate more, right? So you have those hardware manufacturers which will improve those drones considerably in the future. Right now, you have one pilot flying that one drone within visual line of sight. In the future, I mean, or with the special licenses today, but more easily in the future, he can go beyond visual line of sight. Then he will be able to fly more drones, and then he will fly no drone because they will go by themselves. That's the one aspect. The other one is making those drones smart, telling them what to do in the first place, at which place, which dose, yeah. And those are the digital services which will also evolve and connect seamlessly with the hardware and the platforms.
So drones are not only getting smarter, but they're getting more coordinated.
That's the one, yeah. Marrying the hardware and the digital service makes them smart.
Okay, and we definitely see the trend of drone technology advancing year over year very rapidly.
Yeah. That's
and
correct.
that market for drones growing really fast too. So we're going to see more drones, certainly with better features, and they're smarter. Okay.
Exactly.
And what I love about what you just said is that really the hardware is not enough. And that's really what the Zarvio team and the BASF Agricultural Solutions team is helping with, is bringing those insights to the technology.
That's correct. There are different aspects. For instance, I mean, spraying liquid with a drone might be technologically okay, but of course, there's more knowledge in that. We do a lot of R&D regarding application technology, about the chemistry, because you have applied a chemistry at a high concentration.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are different aspects of this.
Okay, and the questions are coming in now. So I think we're ready for your first question from the audience. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay. In your opinion, Holger, are farmers ready to use drones, to integrate those into their farms?
I believe they really are. I mean, there is a naive thinking farmers are not digital. That's not true. I mean, farmers already use GPS routinely. They have their smartphones and their platforms to document stuff. And most of all, they are used to big, sophisticated machines implemented in their daily logistics all the time. So that's perfect situation. Yeah.
Okay, I love that. And we have another question came in. How efficient are drones in terms of optimization of input and resources? The example is, what has Zarvio seen or experienced?
So, I mean, regarding the crop protection input, of course, in the weed zone spray, we save 60% because this is on-off application, right? For the variable rate application, that's a different story. If you apply fungicides and so on, it really depends on the case. But there are numbers out there like saying 30%. Yeah.
Okay, so they are helping with that. So we're getting a question on weed zone spray, which is that program that maps the area for the farmers using the drones flying over and informs the tractors, giving them those digital insights. So are there any plans to launch weed zone spray service in other markets?
Well, we are right now focused on Brazil and Argentina, the markets which have been picking up very fast for us. And we will evolve as time flies by, and we will consider other business markets or businesses in other countries as well, of course.
Okay. Thank you for answering what's next for weed zone spray. We have another question coming in. This one is, drones in ag have been around for some time. We've seen incremental transformation, but not a transformational one. Do we get to see it soon?
Probably not soon. I mean, the main driver right now, for instance, for those spraying applications is the battery. Right now you have these lithium batteries. They will then be lithium sulfur batteries, and then comes hydrogen and mixed batteries into place. This will make the drones even bigger, so they will either fly with more payload, or so more weight, more water, or longer. Yeah. So you will see that trend. What some think tanks think is that in the very future, you will have those very, very big machines, like motherships maybe, combined with those micro swarms of very small drones, which are doing then the more precise application.
Okay, so the transformation is coming.
It is coming for sure, yeah.
A big one.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you. Now that we're waiting for more questions to come in, and that is, Holger, if you had one wish for agriculture, what would it be? If I give you a candle, you could blow it out right now, make your dreams come true for agriculture.
As with every new technology, there needs to be a standard, right? And we're waiting for those standards in terms of operation procedures, in terms of digital formats, and so on.
Okay, so if I get this right, the more standardized, the more consistent the input you guys have coming in, it makes the Zarvio insights even better.
Yeah, better, of course, because it makes it easier for us to think, to provide those services and create those maps. Yeah.
All right, so standardization, that's up next. We have a question from the chat. How can we later verify whether application was successful based on the drone map? Ooh, good question. Should we fly the drone again or after each application?
That's a good one. We also thought at the very beginning in using drones and also to control where the weeds are. You can do that. I mean, the same model would apply for that. It depends a bit where you're green on green. So that means with the crop standing there, or whether you're green on brown, so before the crop has emerged, actually. But you can also do ground control, of course, yeah. So there are the traditional ways or the drone way.
Okay, we have another question here from me. I would love to know, can I fly this drone if I had a farm, or what are sort of the barriers to flying an agricultural drone?
So do you have a license?
I do not.
Do you have insurance?
I do not.
Do you know how to fly it?
I don't, but you could teach me.
Maybe, but you still need a license and you still need the insurance.
Okay, so there's a learning curve more than just taking it out of the box like a consumer drone.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We have another question coming in here, and we appreciate the audience for providing us with these questions and having this discussion with us. Please continue. Does Zarvio need to develop any software specifically to support drones, like image analysis, interpretation?
Yeah, there are two aspects. One is the modeling, like understanding what does this image tell me. So where are the weeds in this case, for instance? And the other one is, of course, automating the whole pipeline because you don't want to upload them and do all the processing manually, right? So
Okay.
this should be 100% automatic. And this is what we did.
Okay, so let's remind the audience whether or not we're into the business of building drones.
We don't do hardware. Yeah,
Right.
We don't do hardware.
It's the insights that we're into in collaboration with drone manufacturers and farming to get those insights to farmers.
Exactly. So we believe that we can help farmers a lot by making those drones, or especially also the applications, smarter.
Okay. More questions are coming in, and we hope to address all of these questions. And if we don't have time to address your question today, we will get back to those questions on drones as soon as we can. Here's another question for you, Holger. Do you expect in the future drones will replace traditional farming machinery such as tractors or crop protection farmers, i.e. everything becomes AI-based and automated?
Well, these are two questions, right? The drones will take over some of the parts, as said. They will complement, as mentioned. But there are some things they will not be able to do. They will not do the tillage. Even in the very far future, this is energetically probably not meaningful, yeah? That's the one thing. And I forgot about the other thing.
You forgot about the other thing. Is it going to replace tractors?
The automation.
Yeah, the automation.
Yeah, that's what we mentioned. So, of course, what's coming up, and also from the regulatory part, is that you will be able to have those automated clusters. So basically, right now, you can fly 3 drones or 5 sensing drones or 3 spraying drones in the US, I think, with one pilot with a special waiver or that special risk assessment and permission. In the future, of course, if they get automated, they fly themselves, doing the operations, doing that job, but they need to talk and connect with each other in that field. And some of the fields don't have the best connectivity, as you know.
Okay, that's really interesting. We are still waiting for questions to come in. I would love to know a little bit more about how these drones are detecting things that farmers need to be looking for in the field.
So you mean the operation or the real process of finding what?
How does this drone know what to look for in the field that a farmer would care about?
So you need to plan a mission, right?
Plan a mission.
Exactly. You have a flight mission basically, and you need to plan that. And sometimes you need to register it. Even you need to tell the aviation control office basically where your mission is going to be like. You get that granted. You fly that, and you do that by either uploading a map or a flight plan to your controller.
Okay, so he knows where to go, and then how does he get the right information to tell a farmer that he's got a problem in crop health?
Yeah, so the drone only does do the mapping, right? So you create single images. In the case of the weed zone spray, you have very, very single images.
Okay.
And they could be in the future processed on edge, that means on the machine directly, like with the Jetson board or so. Or as the traditional way is stitching them in some cloud or offline system. So that means you need to download the images.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then that's when they come to Xarvio.
That's where they come to us. So they are up on our server. We process them automatically and provide you then the outcome, which is the application map.
Okay, and that is what gets into the tractors or the drones that are going to do something with the crop protection or the fertilizer usage.
Yeah, exactly. So those maps can be applied again by the boom sprayer or also by a spray drone, of course. Yeah.
Okay, and then you get that impact to sustainability and productivity in precision farming.
Exactly.
Okay, we have some more questions coming in. We only have a few minutes more to go. If you have any questions, please enter them in the chat so we can get to them. Are there certain situations, Holger, where drones are not going to be what a farmer chooses, that are not suitable?
Well, that depends on your field structure, of course. I mean, we already mentioned the efficiency in covering the area. There are also costs associated to that. Of course, you can fly the drone by yourself, or you can order the service. And then there are situations like wind and rain, of course, which hamper your application. And legislation is very different in different regions. Yeah.
Right, so you have drones being very light, whereas tractors are more stable. They wouldn't get tossed around.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another question here is, are drones expensive to buy, use, and maintain?
Yeah, that's a good one. Those drones, as said, are really cheap when you buy them. Yeah, like still 10 times cheaper than any boom sprayer. So they are accessible, and lots of people are building therefore businesses around that.
Yeah.
But of course, there's also maintenance. And don't forget about the labor, because one of the biggest cost drivers is the labor.
Okay, and so there's a cost associated with them, but if they didn't want to go all in, is there an option?
Sure, sure. I mean, before buying a drone, you can order the service, either for scanning your field or to apply your field, test it out. Yeah.
Okay, and that's really what Weed Zone Spray offers as well in Brazil and Argentina.
Exactly, exactly. This is what we offer.
Okay, I think this is a really great place to wrap up this first session of our LinkedIn Live from the Green Room. We hope that you found this discussion insightful. I certainly did.
I did too.
Thank you, Holger, for being here, sharing your expertise. We want to tell you that we'll be having this series again next time on carbon farming with another one of our experts. So please stay tuned for that. And we want to thank you all for joining us today. And we want to stay connected for the love of farming.
The biggest job on earth.